so unbelievable. Welcome to the 2022 Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Breakfast. We are so honored to host this event. Worldwide, and the American Cancer Society is really, really connected. It really is personal to us. We love this organization, incredible leadership of this organization, but more importantly, what they do to try to eradicate cancer. That's what it's all about. Our CEO and Jim Kavanaugh and our President Joe Koenig and I, we get very involved in this organization. Joe Koenig is part of the CEOs Against Cancer. Of course, it's the Hope Lodge, the Worldwide Technology Hope Lodge, and I am cooking there in September, right? I think I'm cooking there in September, which I love to do. We love what the Hope Lodge does. But this event is really exciting. I was talking to Jason, and then we have the big walk in October, so hopefully it's right out here. You get to come back to Worldwide Technology. But we are so excited to host you guys here, and make yourself welcome. Little housekeeping, there's restrooms in the back there, there's food out there. If you need anything at all, find somebody from Worldwide Technology. I do want to call out somebody on my team, Kim Valero, who is a breast cancer survivor. Kim works with me on managing the foundation, so Kim, yay. I'm president of the company's foundation, but she's the one who manages the checks. So again, thank you for being here, and it is my honor and pleasure to welcome someone I got to know most recently, Mike Colombo from Fox 2, KTVI, KPLR 11, and KSHE 95 on the air. Mike and I were part of the Shave to Save, not just about a week or so ago, which was really a fun event. So I got to know him a little bit. I tried to get him to shave all that hair off his head. Look at that hair, we'll come back in 2 weeks. But he was such a trooper to participate and continue to support this organization. So Mike, welcome to Worldwide, welcome to the event.
And thank you, and I'm absolutely not doing this alone today. I have Learn with me from KSHE 95. We are co-MCs today. Let's hear it for her.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. In addition to Ann's cooking, the specialty we learned was Creole food. Right, Ann? Okay, so if you're at the Hope, we're going to have to find some dates and put those on the calendar for you when you're there at the Hope Lodge. We might all have to come learn a few things. Fox 2 and KPLR 11 are media sponsors for this today, but I want you all to know that I would be here if that was not the case. I have had the distinct honor and pleasure to learn about ACS St. Louis through my involvement in many of the different initiatives. And this one in particular really hits me because when we get to hear the stories of our Portraits of Hope nominees and recipients, if you're a first timer, you'll understand what I mean once you hear them today. It really hits home in a special way. So I am absolutely thrilled to be here and grateful to be asked and to be able to share a stage with Learn, who we've listened to on the radio for years now, and someone that I just learned today is extremely passionate and tied into the mission of the American Cancer Society with your own story.
Yeah, so thanks, Mike. I last year was hosting the Making Strides walk, and that was my first year of being involved. And actually, it was kind of kismet, I guess we could say. One of my dear cousins last year was diagnosed with breast cancer, had a double mastectomy with reconstruction, and it just shook our entire family. She's in her 40s, mother of 2, and that was really the first person in my life that I was directly connected to who was enduring this. And then most recently, my sister-in-law in April had a double mastectomy because she had the BRCA gene test and found out that she had like an 80% chance of developing breast cancer. And so she, before being diagnosed, she took the initiative to have her breasts removed and so that she can be here for her kids. So it's my involvement with ACS and with this event specifically is dearly personal because of these two women in my life, and obviously because of all of you who have been coming year after year and really spearheading the lead on making sure that we end breast cancer as a collective. So thank you so much for being here this morning. Okay, so now we gotta go to the script. All right, so we are honored to have you all here this morning in so many shades of pink. I obviously don't have any pink on. I'm just gonna say this outwardly. I wear a lot of black, and it's impressive that I even have this white tank on today. So, but thank you so much for being here at the 14th Annual Making Strides Celebration, presented by Hubel-Shaw Material Handling. And of course, it's coming up Saturday, October 22nd at Westport, which is where you are. Did everybody find it okay this morning? It's gonna be really fun. Hubel-Shaw and Making Strides Against Breast Cancer celebrate all of you survivors and thrivers. It raises funds for life-saving breast cancer research, advocacy programs, and services. And we all as a collective could not do what we're all doing without the support of so many sponsors who joined us in the mission to end breast cancer.
Absolutely. We want to begin this morning by thanking our presenting sponsor, which is Hubel-Shaw Material Handling Incorporated. Let's hear it for Hubel-Shaw. Another huge thanks goes out to Worldwide Technology for having us here in their beautiful facility today.
So cool. We're all scientists.
I texted one of my friends that works there. I said, dude, you work in a spaceship. I mean, this place is amazing.
We are all Bill Gates today.
Exactly. KTVI Fox 2, KSHE95, Edward Jones, Ameren, F45 Training, Kemper Life, Pepsi, UM Bank, Flat Branch Home Loans, St. Louis Community College, Simmons Bank, Westport Plaza, Lodging Hospitality Management. Our Making Strides celebration would not be as successful without each one of you. Thank you again for your participation. We also want to extend a big thank you to Zeta Tau Alpha Sorority. As the National Survivor Ambassador of Making Strides, Zeta Tau Alpha volunteers will volunteer at more than 150 celebrations in communities nationwide. Thank you.
So most people, if not everyone in this room, have been impacted in some way by breast cancer. So we're going to kind of humanize the room. So please raise your hand if you are a caregiver or here to support someone in your life who has been impacted by breast cancer. The American Cancer Society works to save lives, so nobody is going to face cancer alone. And one thing that we've learned from the work of our amazing doctors and researchers who help breast cancer survivors is the earlier the cancer is caught, the better the outcome, which means that now is a great time to remind you all of the importance of screening and early detection. Take out your phone and make that appointment. It will be the best decision that you make today, and let's all just love on ourselves a little bit more and get screened. I know we get busy with work and social life, and it's been 2 years since we've felt, this normal, I guess, but getting screened and being on top of what is coming up in your doctor visits and talking to your care providers is so important. So get that early detection. Thank you so much, in large, for your support of Making Strides. The American Cancer Society is here to ensure that nobody has to feel alone at any point in their cancer journey, from detection, diagnosis, treatment, survivorship, and then for some, the end of life. So you all are supported, and thank you so much.
We have trained caring staff available 24/7 at 1-800-227-2345, as well as a live chat at cancer.org to connect people with answers and information. And in fact, in the 250,000 calls and chats that ACS has answered in 2021, breast cancer was the #1 cancer inquiry that those callers and chatters shared with the people who they reached out to. We all know that transportation should not be an issue, or should not be a roadblock, I should say, when it comes to cancer treatment. After cost of care and insurance, simply having a ride to treatment is the biggest barrier that patients report facing. The American Cancer Society is here to help. Last year, the American Cancer Society committed more than $268,000 across the state of Missouri to get cancer patients this direct support. One of the many obstacles that cancer patients face today is the overwhelming stress of having to pay for lodging when forced to travel away from home to receive their treatment. With an average stay of almost 8 days for one treatment session, Hope Lodge St. Louis provides a free home away from home for people facing cancer, as well as their caregivers. More than just a roof over their heads, it is a nurturing community to help people access the care that they need, and it is all at no cost to our patients and caregivers, who are encouraged to stay with them while they're at the Hope Lodge.
And it's beautiful, by the way. I've only seen it online, but what an incredible resource the Hope Lodge is. And I found this to be really interesting. Next to our government, which is massive, ACS is the second largest organization to help the US in fighting to end cancer, which is, I mean, think about that. Like, an organization that is not directly like sending you a tax form every day is fighting cancer. It is the second largest because of the funds that ACS gets to have life-saving research. So I think that's really incredible. And right now, this is the stat, American Cancer Society is funding $8.6 million in 15 different grants right here in the state of Missouri. And so right now, meet one of our ACS researchers at Wash U in St. Louis, Dr. Jason Weber, and let's hear his story.
One thing that makes the American Cancer Society's research program so unique is that we are willing to take some risks. We help launch these ideas, launch these careers, launch these scientists down a path where they can then take these ideas from the very early stage, where it's just sort of a crazy idea in their head, all the way to potentially a new drug, a new treatment, a new intervention that directly benefits patients.
I had a crazy idea for a project, and it was a very high risk, high reward. We had an internal ACS research grant, and they took a chance, and it hit. It was a great result, and that eventually turned into a large Department of Defense breast cancer grant, which then turned into a large NIH grant on breast cancer. Thinking back to it, it never would have received national funding, because it was too crazy an idea. Discoveries happen on a daily basis, but it's really moving those discoveries from the bench to the bedside that is really the goal of the laboratory.
The number one indicator that we're making a difference in the fight against cancer is the fact that we've seen a 31% decline in cancer mortality rates since the early 1990s. And because we've been able to see those declines in cancer mortality, 3.2 million deaths have been averted.
You can take those building block steps. Just someone has to give you that first block. And for me, it was the ACS.
Events like Champions of Hope, all the different things we're doing across the country to raise money are so critical, because that allows us to give those researchers the funds they need to do that groundbreaking research and find those next breakthroughs.
You know, the NIH is shooting free throws and layups. And the American Cancer Society is taking 3-pointers and half-court shots. Yeah, you're going to miss a lot of those. But man, when you hit one of those, you are going to push the boundaries and move science faster along than if you had done it the safer, more incremental way. I've still got enough time in the lab to keep at it. I'm still wanting to reach the end of that vision, which is to make sure that no woman dies of breast cancer. I think it's just a matter of time.
It is your contribution that helps Dr. Weber and physicians in roles like he has do the work that they do. And it is kind of remarkable that, I mean, we are all very blessed to have Wash U in our city. I mean, we have a bunch of amazing medical institutions, but the work that Wash U does, I'm constantly enthralled by what they're actually doing. These smart, amazing people. So that's where your dollars go. That's where your effort and your energy goes, to these geniuses who are working diligently to make the end to cancer, we're getting that much closer with each passing, literally hour of every day.
And that basketball analogy is perfect because we know that cancer is going to be aggressive. So you have to be able to be willing to take the shots that you might not take on an everyday basis to find a cure, to find something that can get us to the cure. So that's just incredible. And while we all know the research is an important part of the work being done, we would be remiss without mentioning our advocacy affiliate, the American Cancer Society Action Network, ACS-CAN. We work at all levels of government to demand change from elected officials by passing public policies to help build healthier communities and provide greater, more equitable access to quality health care for all of those impacted by cancer. Next, we'd like to introduce one of our first ever Portraits of Hope ambassadors and someone we truly call one of our nearest and dearest friends at ACS. She is a retired professor from Fontbonne University, now sharing her time and talent serving on our Making Strides Planning Committee, as well as an ACS-CAN advocate. Please join me in welcoming Mary Beth Olms, the first Portrait of Hope breast cancer survivor and a big friend to ACS.
Thanks, Mike. Hello, everybody. Good to see you today. I am, as Mike said, Mary Beth Holmes, and I am a granddaughter and daughter of breast cancer patients. I have 4 granddaughters and a grandson, and I have 2 daughters. So cancer is very real to me, and it's very important that we get the word out. I am standing here today. Why? Because of research. Because of research. My mother was an American Cancer Society funded tamoxifen trial. And when I was diagnosed, 21 years after she was, guess what drug I was on? Tamoxifen. So without the American Cancer Society, without these brilliant, bright people we heard from today, I wouldn't be here. I was involved in relay with Mom, and remember the first time I saw her make her laugh? I cried a lot, I did, but it was worth it. And we became very involved in that. And then when Making Strides came to St. Louis, I met Stephanie Hadfield, who came to Fontbonne and said, hey, how'd you like to have a team? So the rest is history. Now that I'm retired, I'm looking for new ways to reach out, and I found a great way with ACS-CAN. I can't tell you how easy it is. Now, you know, things are hard, right? But this is easy. These people are awesome. They work with our legislators, both here in the state and nationally. So where decisions get made? In government, that big government that Lauren was talking about. So by doing this, we are making a huge difference. In September, next month, right? ACS-CAN is going to be going to Washington, D.C. to speak to legislators to try and get a little more money for NIH, about $4.1 billion. My mom always said, if you don't ask, you don't know. And that's for their overall cancer research funding. Secondly, we're going to be looking at getting some money for CDC's program, which is an early detection for both cervical and breast cancer. And that's a little bit less, about $225 million. So one of the programs that ACS-CAN has worked successfully on and been funded for 10 years, that's really near and dear to my heart as a retired professor, is funding for Show Me Healthy Women. Yes, Show Me Healthy Women, for that early detection and screening. We know how important that is, but some people don't have insurance. Still, in this day, 2022, and without programs like this, we would not be able to save their lives. And I can't tell you how many students came and talked to me because I did the walk every year when they found a loan, and they didn't know what to do because they didn't have insurance. I was able to give them resources thanks to the work that is done through ACS-CAN. So what I'd like to ask of you is if you can join me. I'm telling you, I get an email, it shows me and tells me exactly what to do to post it on my social media, which with me is only Facebook. You all probably know a lot more. I click here, click there, and boom, and I get all these responses on my feed. It's so exciting, it's so easy. I call and make calls to my senators. state senator, state representative, I get responses back from them. And I tell them my story because I am an expert on my story. I'm not a cancer researcher, no way. But I am an expert on my story and I know what's important. Easy. You can become a member today. And how many of you like those Gucci purses and Kate Spade and all those things? Well, we like to talk about the power of the purse. And this year we have a nice, pretty purse. And there are other purses you can choose from if you become a member today for a mere $20. That $20 goes a long way to getting, that 4.1 billion that we need. So you also received this as you walked in today. I hope that you'll take a minute and fill out this information. It's money well spent. And I'm so excited to be part of this movement because I hope that by the time my grandkids are old enough to be worried about breast cancer, that it won't be here anymore. I want to leave that as my personal legacy. Thank you.
Your dedication and your story and your ability to share, I think, is what makes a huge difference because I was thinking about it as we were standing over there. Like at KC, we always talk about how music is the great unifier, right? And I think that unfortunately cancer is also a unifier. I don't know too many people, if anyone, that has not been affected by cancer in some way, either personally to themselves or by somebody that they love. And when you can put a voice in a story and get people motivated that way, it really is something special. So thank you so much for honoring your family like that. We wanted to share another story, and this is a friend of ACS and also a former portrait of hope. So I would like you to watch this right now with our friend Holly Lincoln.
My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2001, and her story ended with breast cancer in 2006. When I got diagnosed, I immediately went to, I'm going to die. I have a 3-year-old daughter. What am I going to do? The medicine that I had the opportunity to take during my treatment was released for use in 2006. I had what was called HER2-positive breast cancer, and that was best treated because of this medicine, Herceptin, and I'm here today because of it. There's no thank you big enough. You saved my life. You saved so many people's lives. And I hope and I pray that they continue to find medicines that can be more targeted or more specific cancers, and that we can have other people sitting here going, yes, you helped me too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to give a huge welcome to the new class of these courageous, beautiful, inspiring women? Yes. There are more than 3.8 million breast cancer survivors in the United States today. And joining Mike and I up here are 5 breast cancer survivors who show an outstanding commitment to the fight against cancer as they continually to inspire and have a remarkable presence and a significant contribution, to be honest, to not only themselves and their community, but the community here in St. Louis at large through their participation with Making Strides Against Breast Cancer.
It is our great honor to be able to introduce you to the 2022 Making Strides Portraits of Hope St. Louis. Ladies, please come join me on stage. Us on stage. In no particular order here, Anastasia Stevenson. Or maybe they are in order. I guess we're about to find out here. Rachel Witt. Nope. Christina Reese. Becky Moss. Natalie Onuha. And Amanda
So portraits of hope, they are courageous, they are determined, and you inspire hope. Do you feel that? I hope you do. I'm sorry. It's okay if you do. I mean, I'll get going too, don't worry. To be a woman in the first place, I think, inspires a certain level of adjectives. I can't rattle them all off up here right now, but I mean, you are incredible, and you should know that. You are ambassadors in the truest sense of the word, and we're all here in this room today to support you and let you know that you are not alone in anything. And we love you, and we wish you all the very best in your journeys ahead. So thank you so much for being here.
The American Cancer Society is working to ensure that all people have a fair and just opportunity to prevent, find, treat, and survive cancer. Breast cancer doesn't just affect women. Thousands of men are diagnosed with the disease in the U.S. every year as well. And so are more than 287,000 of their daughters, wives, mothers, sisters, and friends. From community leaders to social influencers, Real Men Wear Pink is a distinguished group of men dressed for success and ready to raise awareness and money for the fight against breast cancer. Real Men Wear Pink empowers men in the fight to end breast cancer. And I am thrilled to be able to introduce you to one of our Real Men Wear Pink ambassadors this morning. And after you hear his story, you will understand why he is such a special guy. Help me in welcoming to the stage Real Men Wear Pink ambassador, caregiver, father, and friend, Tony Penberg.
Thank you. Good morning. So I am Tony Penberthy, Real Men Wear Pink member since 2019 and husband of 2019 Portrait of Hope. I'll get there. Sarah Penberthy. So I was asked to speak here this morning apparently because, well, Sarah was quite the warrior, and apparently our relationship had a huge impact on this community. So I'll give you a short history on Sarah and I. We've known each other since junior high. I knew who she was. She was infatuated with me. I know that. We didn't actually start dating until after I had graduated and she was about to start her senior year of high school. So high school sweethearts, close enough. Pretty young. We got married in our early 20s. We had been married for 19 years and together for 24 years this past summer. Yeah, we had two beautiful daughters, one almost 17 and one 14. Definitely a handful. And we've been best friends for the entire time, like inseparable. So in 2014, Sarah was first diagnosed with breast cancer the day after Thanksgiving, and we started her treatments in 2015. We spent the entire year, surgeries, chemo, radiation, most of you know this whole drill, double mastectomies, hysterectomy, reconstruction by the end of 2015. So we nailed it. In a year, we're good and going strong. She was doing well. So she made quite a name for herself in this community over the past few years. And as awful as the situation is, she made a lot of good friends in here. We made friends at the hospital with nurses. The doctors know who we are, not just because we're there all the time, they knew us by name, but because of her attitude and the way we handled ourselves there. You will notice that I say we a lot because she was not alone. So, as her husband, best friend, her cheerleader, sometimes the voice of reason, caregiver for sure, and her words, her rock, I was going to be by her side the entire time, no question. We did everything together since we were kids anyway, so why would this be any different? And that's how, well, so her outgoingness, us being together all the time, and people just knowing her and learning of her and helping us get in with the American Cancer Society and making strides, she used her platform as a portrait of hope to inspire so many people and to help so many. She was totally willing to exploit her situation to help someone else. And the American Cancer Society, Making Strides, and the Portrait of Hope organization gives the women the platform to encourage and inspire, which is just amazing. The fundraising for the American Cancer Society is obviously key. We need that for research. We need it for the resources to help everyone we can. So obviously very much needed, and we thank everyone who helps with those endeavors. But the connecting with the people was where we strived. And Sarah, for sure. So I wrote it this way, whether it's through a long-winded emotional speech, or just a conversation with someone over the phone, or at the hospital, or basketball games, wherever it might be. That's where Sarah and I made the biggest impact. And so Sarah continued her help with the American Cancer Society along with her mother Joanne. They were volunteering this year. She helped nominate some of the Portraits of Hope. She was supposed to be on part of the planning committee, which her mother is still doing. And she is also the reason I became a member of Real Men Wear Pink. Pretty busy with our business and the kids, I get kind of lazy, don't really do much, and she pushed me to join the Real Men Wear Pink, and I couldn't be more happier that I did. It's a great group of people, and it makes you feel good. She inspired me to help encourage other men and other caregivers. And I couldn't be more happy with the decision. We spoke at the 2019 VIP party, which was the first time I've spoke in public. Pretty nerve-wracking, still nerve-wracking today, but it's not too bad. But what I love about Real Men Wear Pink is it empowers men in the fight against breast cancer. We can be our caregiver, we can be there for our wives, our friends, but this actually gives us, I've said it, like a platform where we can do something and make it impactful. So I think I ran through that pretty quick. I wasn't sure how fast that would go. I'm sure you're tired of looking at my ugly mug, so I would definitely like to introduce 2022 Portrait of Hope, the beautiful Christina Reese.
Tony's wife Sarah was and still is an inspiration to all of us. She taught us to continue to fight with courage and determination and never stop. Tony, the work you continue to do with Real Men Wear Pink is such a beautiful tribute to Sarah and your daughters, and I'm proud to continue Sarah's legacy as a portrait of hope through the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. It was the evening of February 2nd, 2018. I had just gotten out of the shower. While drying off, I felt a lump in my right breast. After my small panic attack, I called my husband back to take a look, and immediately he felt the lump, but also pointed out. We were both terrified, and this all happened on a Friday, so as you can imagine, it's a long weekend of what-ifs. With so many thoughts and emotions swirling around, I immediately thought about a dear friend of mine just the summer before I watched go through the fight of her life. Cancer couldn't happen to me, but deep down, I had a feeling something wasn't right. After that really long weekend, filled with worry and anxiety, Monday finally came. The first thing I did was call the doctor. I was seen that afternoon, and to my surprise, the doctor told me he didn't feel anything. After hearing those words, I sat up straight, and I pointed to the lump that was clearly visible. He felt again, told me I was fine. That's just my natural makeup, he said. There's no way I'm going to let that slide. So I insisted on further test. Thankfully, I was able to get a mammogram the next day. At 36, I thought I'm too young for a mammogram, but grateful the tests are there to help to get to the bottom of everything. After the mammogram, I remember sitting in this cold room in my hospital gown, terrified. because the nurse had to speak with her radiologist. Next thing I knew, I was laying on a hard table getting an ultrasound. It's all a whirlwind, and within a matter of minutes, I would learn that yet another procedure would be coming, a biopsy. Again, I was thankful to get that done the very next day. As I left the ultrasound, walking to my car and sobbing, I called my husband. It was just that terrible feeling deep down inside, something, again, it's not right. You know, you can say you know. I knew. February 9th was the day my life changed forever. I was sitting with my best friends eating lunch when I got the call, which I declined. All the tests came back confirmed. The official diagnosis was invasive ductal cell carcinoma. A month later, I had a double mastectomy, and if this all wasn't enough, I found out I had lesions in my bones and a mass in my kidney. Again, my world was crushed. How could this be happening to me? More biopsies and more tests confirmed that not only was I stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, but I also had stage 1 kidney cancer. Today I thank God that I found the cancer, the breast cancer, because if I wouldn't have, the kidney cancer would have become too late by the time I would have found it. The next 2 months, again, were a complete whirlwind, filled with so many emotions that you can think of. I knew I had to stay focused, full steam ahead. Blessed with a great support network, and some of my closest friends lifting me up, making sure nothing fell through the cracks. They arranged for me to visit MD Anderson, who in turn worked with my local doctor to come up with my treatment plan. May of 2018, I endured 2 more surgeries in 1 week. One of those being losing 20% of my kidney. The result, I beat kidney cancer. My fight was not over. I would go through 4 or 5 additional surgeries, bringing my total to 9 surgeries in 14 months. I was lucky enough to take oral chemo that would allow me to reach the no sign of active disease for 10 months. Today I'm on my 6th line of treatment. Although I'm no longer able to take oral chemo, my current chemo treatments are working, and again, my cancer numbers are falling. Although each time I have to switch, the chemo seems to become a little bit harder to endure. I'll never give up. I want so badly to watch my children graduate and start their lives. And to grow old with my husband. Speaking of, I can't take all the credit for my fight. My husband, Christopher, my 2 children, Tyler and Abigail, my family, and my dearest friends have been by my side every step of the way. They give me the strength on my worst days to pick myself up and carry on. Another source comes from our church. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Along this journey, I've met some of the bravest women I knew, one being my very dear friend, Sarah. She actually nominated me to be a Portraits of Hope for the American Cancer Society event. I couldn't say no. I knew that lending my voice and getting involved with the American Cancer Society could help so many women like me find hope and stay positive and use their voice. And also help fuel research that was needed to combat this terrible disease. The day I got the call that I had been selected as a Portrait of Hope was also the day we lost our dear friend. Today I stand here as a Portrait of Hope in her honor, and I hope she knows how she continues to impact so many people fighting the fight. She is and was an inspiration to so many, so positive, and she never gave up. Before I close, I'll share one of my favorite quotes. She stood in the storm, and when the wind did not blow her way, she adjusted her sails. Going through a cancer journey like this is just like standing in a storm that is never ending, but together we can stand strong and stay hopeful that someday there will be more treatment options and we can put an end to breast cancer. I make strides with the American Cancer Society with the hope that my story will help others who are just starting their fight to help them stay positive and never give up. So I hope you will join me by forming a team, raising money, and walking at the 2022 Making Strides event on October 22nd, because together we can and we will make a difference.
a mess. But rightfully so. Tony, thank you so much for talking about Sarah. You did a great job, and everybody's hearts go out to you and your family. And Christina, I can't even, I'm sorry to make this personal, but we lost a great friend this week at the radio station from prostate cancer, Jeff Burton, and I'm just so inspired by you. So thank you for coming up here. Mary Beth, Tony, and Christina, and all breast cancer patients and their families are counting on us. They are counting on us. We want to save lives, we want to improve lives, we want to extend that research so people have the lives that they deserve, that you can see your kids live their lives. And so I'm going to challenge everyone in this room, and I hope that this energy that we have here today, because I know all these seats aren't filled, they should be, but they're not. I hope that this energy that we have right now ripples through this room, out of this building, out of this city, out of this nation, into this world, into the solar system. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want your, whatever you're feeling, I want you to give it to me right now. Will you make strides with us so nobody facing breast cancer has to walk alone?
Yes.
Will you walk with us for those touched by breast cancer today and for those who will face a future diagnosis tomorrow?
Yes.
Will you walk with us so we can continue to make progress and save more lives from breast cancer?
Yes.
And when you join Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, know that you are funding breakthrough, life-saving research. You're providing support to those who are facing breast cancer today and bringing hope to anyone who is going to be facing breast cancer in the future. And so are you guys, I want to really hear it. Are you ready to make strides against freaking breast cancer?
All right. There's cards by each of your seats. I'd like you to find that card, please. There are pens near you as well. They should be with those cards. These are commitment cards. We need each of you right now to grab the card, grab the pen, and fill it out. And what you're doing when you fill that out is you are making a commitment to join us. When you're finished filling out the card, we ask you to please hold it up and wave your card in the air and keep that card in the air until one of our volunteers is able to collect your form. And as a thank you for signing up, you will receive a Making Strides fanny pack, as well as being entered to win a stunning piece of jewelry which was graciously donated to us by Kendra Scott.
Fanny packs and jewelry. I will fill out all of them. So once you get it done, just wave it around. There's going to be all sorts of people to, they're handing out the adorable fanny packs. I had a fanny pack on last night at Busch Stadium. And let me tell you, if you like to go to baseball games, you can wear the fanny pack inside Busch Stadium. They won't make you take it to your car.
Okay, that's good.
So that's good. How are you doing?
I told you that listening to these people speak and share their stories today, I do a lot of events. You probably do even more events than I do. It doesn't really get much more moving than this,
No.
in my experience. To hear you guys share your personal stories, to see your faces, to not even really begin to even understand. You can hear it, but until you've lived it, you just don't, you can't feel it the same way, but the strength that you both conveyed, the rawness that you both conveyed, and
everybody we don't know exactly what you're going through, maybe, but we know somebody who has gone through it. And I don't know, the world needs more empathy. We need more understanding of each other, and storytelling is just the only way that we can get there. And I don't know how, to me, I feel like this whole building should be filled with people wanting to support and fund research and support people actively going through cancer and helping surviving members of families to endure that grief and know that you are not alone in any of it. And I know it's all very raw still. And if you ever need more people at that pity party, I'm down. Like, it's not even a pity party, man. It's just it is just vulnerability and emotion that is worth every tear. So thank you.
I think your willingness to share those stories, and it's gonna have to extend beyond this room, because it's our job, I think, all of us here today, to take what we've heard here and to take the inspiration that we've gained through your stories and share them with the larger public. And we all have a platform, no matter how big or small it may seem, to do that. And personally, that's been one of the honors that I've had as being a part of this organization in the way that I have, is to be able to share that in whatever way. And it's not, my platform certainly is not as large as so many other people out there, but if I can interact with somebody in my life who might be able to then use their platform to share your stories, I mean, that's what this is all about.
Right, it's just energy, putting energy where it needs to be so it radiates out into the world and we get the help that it deserves. So at this point, let me see how many fanny packs. Hold the fanny pack down. That's awesome. Thank you. Just a note, if you need help, we are here. If you need help with breast cancer issues, we are here. If you need help with your team, or you maybe this is the first time you're doing this, you are like, I don't even know where to begin. We are here. So you are not alone. And without this walk and what you're doing with your fundraising, the American Cancer Society would not be able to do the life-saving work that it's doing. So be sure to have October 22nd on your calendars, as we all do, I think, in this room. And make sure that you know that Mike and I will be there October 22nd with you to celebrate with you. I will probably be crying again, as that happened last year.
Hopefully your tears don't freeze.
Yeah, right. It was a mild
We've had
October.
some, you just never know on October 22nd.
Last year was actually really good,
Yeah.
I will say that. And all of these things are made possible because of each and every stinking one of you sitting in this room today. So now get out there, spread the word, tell people about the work that's happening, the walk, get everybody in your individual community to come out, share your story about why you're making strides, and honestly, let's just kick the shit out of breast cancer. Sorry.
So on behalf of all of our incredible speakers, our sponsors, another huge thank you to our host, Worldwide Technology, the Strides Planning Committee, and many volunteers and the staff who attack cancer from every angle. Thank you. Usually we get a thanks from ACS, and you're always so grateful to give it to Learn and I for helping today, but I think I speak for both of us when I say thank you for including us in this, because it makes us feel special to feel like we have a part in sharing your stories as we move forward today. So we all definitely look forward to seeing you and being with you again on October 22nd.
We'll be there.
Have a great day.
What do you have your, like, what do you have your writing? That's why I keep going back.